we will have people joining us throughout the meeting. So without any further ado, I will turn it over to our gentleman from Orenburg Shal. I told them earlier they were apologizing for their English. And I said, oh gosh, your English is so much better than my Russian. I'm not even going to attempt to say your name. So they will let you know how to say their name correctly. And they are coming to us directly from Russia. So gentlemen, I will spotlight you and turn this entire meeting over to you.
Thank you a lot. First of all, we would like to thank all the people who are involved in making this beautiful event. We are grateful to be here. Thank you for that. So one time we apologize in English. That's like we think we should do. Also we wanted to say thank you to our friend Kara, who will join us later. Maybe she's here. So what you see right now, it's the kind of nature of our region. So today we're going to talk about mostly about the Orenburg Shal, about the craft, a little bit about the company. I'll show you the video of company and go through some core values that we appreciate and hope you're gonna enjoy it. We have a few tricks with the products, but so let's start with the history. One question, do you hear me is it okay or should I speak louder? Because sometimes I have a problem with that. If it's okay, you can
I think we can hear you fine, thank you.
Fine, that's nice, thank you. So as it sometimes happens, the good thing comes from the adversary, from the bad things. The same thing happened with the Orenburg Shals. The source of a craft is solitude, loneliness, and war. Because of it, such a great craft exists. So the story behind this is so that migrants from the central part of Russia were forced to go to the border, closer to the border for the military duty. The Kazakhs, the military department of our Russian army, they came to our region with the wives, and they kind of abandoned their wives because of the military duty. Women were forced to try to find a way to survive. They had no chance of farming because the soil is really poor and the climate is extremely severe. So they were trying to find a way to survive, and they did. They found the down of the local goats have some unique properties, and it's really warm, it's thin. So they found a solution. They took it down and they started to make items of it. So that was the solution of their problem. Like they sold items they did, and that helped them to survive. It was 300 years ago, approximately 300 years ago. The story of Orenburg Shal is its ups and downs. We'll skip some parts, but we'll talk on some key components because our region was, and it is right now, a melting pot for different cultures. So the migrants met a lot of different nationalities, and the craft began to evolve. People brought their traditional elements to that, and so it like evolved into something new. We have like more than 30 nationalities here right now, and our region is like the top one or top two in tolerance rating to the nationalities. So like Bashkir, Tatar, Kazakhs, Jewish people, Germans, all over the place. So it's a nice place to live and to go, where you can find the different cultures around you. So the next thing I want to talk about is the next period of the history of Orenburg Shal. It's some international exhibitions. So the shal became really popular all around Russia, and in 1961 it was an exhibition in London. In 1861, in 1867 it was in Paris, and in 1893 it was in Chicago. So that's the cute little baby behind you. Orenburg Shals got a few awards on these exhibitions, and it was famous all around Russia. Then comes the Soviet period, when in Soviet Union it was also the known phenomenon, and it evolved one more time. The Soviet motifs became like really meaningful to craftswomen. They try to like reflect the reality they see in the art they do, in items they produce. And here comes the Soviet pictures, you know. And here comes the 1990s. The Soviet Union fell apart, and that was like the difficult time for like all of us. And Orenburg Shal helped a lot of people to survive through that, but the population of goats shrink dramatically, like hundreds of times they shrink, because it's better somehow to survive today than to have like illusory hope or make some piece of art of the goat you have tomorrow. So that was the bad times for the story of, and here goes the current time. We would like to say that like we established the company and everything went well, but it's not. We have like really a small impact, but we're trying as much as we can to keep the tradition alive, keep the craft alive, and to support the local community, the knitters community. So next we go to talk about the shawls itself. Basically, it's a shawl with two components, with two threads that go down, and silk or cotton twist together and have this some shawls. So there are a few types of it. So we call it platok, шаль, паутинка, and a few others. So what's the difference between them? As I said, there are silk and cotton. We mix we twist two threads together. So there is the traditional shawl. It has like cotton and got down. we have like worm shal with thick structure. Cobweb, that's the tiny lacy shal, rectangular. So we will talk about down further. We can show samples. Down, we have the raw down and the
It's the down from the goat, not prepared. You can see the hair of the down of the goat and the down, and it's the down which is prepared, yet prepared. And if you see, it's a big difference between them, between the ready and not ready for knitting. From this down, we produce down knit.
down thread.
Down thread, sorry.
So it's cashmere like down 13 to 16 microns, so it's really thin and warm. It comes from local breed of goats. There were a few efforts to send them to London, to England, to France, but the second generation of goats gave the down of poor quality. So there was few attempts, but they felt like to send these goats to other countries. So why they're so cute and so unique? It's because climate, we have extremely severe climate. It's hot in summer. Like a few weeks ago, it was about 42 degrees. Then a few days later, the temperature dropped down to like 23. In winter, we have minus 30 degrees Celsius. And actually, sometimes it's school classes get canceled. So the temperature to cancel class for children, it's about minus 30 degrees. So just to cancel the class. So that climate affected the goats, and they had to adapt. So their way to adapt was with this magnificent down. So that's the main component of shawls. Talking about shawl directly, like traditionally we have a few parts of shawl: the middle part, the grid, the border, and the brim. Like as you can see here, the middle square, then it comes with this grid pattern, and then the brim around the shawl. So many people like arguing what it represents. Some will say it's the sky with the sun directly. Some people say it's a frozen pattern on the window. Some people say that it's a web, cobweb, spider. So we don't know yet. So what do? We try to we work not only on production, we work in archives, and we work in museums. So we trying to recreate the shawls of the era. So you can see right now the shawl of the Soviet period with the Lenin direct. And right now we'll show you a replica of that shawl because like that's kind of what we trying to achieve. We're trying to save the traditional techniques. Also, there's the shawl. So as you can see, traditional pattern of this traditional pattern, like we took it from the picture we found in museum and replicated. So not ничего. So also we have here goes the wing. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the face directly. I don't know if you can see it, but
We don't know.
if you can see it, but that's the face of Lenin. So also shawls called the wedding ring shawls because we see Orenburg Shal you can easily put through the wedding ring. I have one, I have a wife, I have a wedding ring. So we can put it through. We can put it through, where is the camera? Like through the wedding ring.
You can see how it's large and how easy it's go from the ring.
So they are thin and also warm. See the wedding ring. Sure. If you have questions, please ask them in chat. Actually, right now we want to show you the video about a company. I think it can be more entertaining than me talking.
Thank you.
If you want, we can show another types of shawls. The home shawls here, the tippets, cobwebs. If you need to see the pattern of it. Видео Oh, sorry, 1 second. Вот эту штуку убрать как-то.
Убери.
А где только идет?
Не знаю.
Oh, sorry, we have a little. Here is. Да, вот здесь.
Почему я тебе прям ссылку на видео читал?
Куда кинул?
Прям на видео, прям на почту.
На почту, да.
Да. We beg your pardon for discussing Russian because it's kind of way faster for us not to translate it to each other. We are trying to open the video about the company. Yeah.
Слушай, с видео как WhatsApp входим. Ну, тут быстро. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we can manage.
We have some technical problems. Little. Uh,
Presentations.
yeah.
Yeah, presentations. So we talk a lot about the shell, but actually when we had like company meeting 5 years ago, maybe, we were discussing a lot and find out that we're not about really tradition. We're not about the shawls. We are about the craftswomen. We have need to represent them, to help their community somehow. So that's the like key value for us. Beg your pardon. We trying to interview them, trying to help them, we're trying to gather them for meetings, to like create a leisure time for them. Have annual meeting, New Year. So have about right now we have 50 interviews, 30 interviews on site, and like 50 interviews we took. We're trying to translate them, or maybe next month they'll be available in English on our site. So yeah, but it's like it's funny, or when you're starting to talk with them to understand how they live, what they're doing, and how shall change them and help them get through the difficult times. One time actually, like we were making interview, we were live in Instagram, and one of Nita's, she thought that it is recording, not live interview. And she was telling us like they were brewing the booze and bribing the police officer. We were like sitting in front of her, and we used like all the facial expressions available to men to show, please stop, we beg you to stop. She looked away like she told her story. She looked at us like we were white. We were sitting there. Guys, I hope you cut this out from the video, she said. So sometimes the funny thing happens, but we can sincerely say that a company, it's about more than 300 craftswomen who we know, who we respect, and whose work we admire. So, here you can see them. They are mostly old ladies, beautiful ladies.
It's our community,
Yeah.
the community of our craftswomen. So
So,
it's a New Year photos.
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
And it's a old picture. Here again. So we also understand that this craft is not getting any younger, and we try our best to teach new generation how to knit, to keep this tradition alive, because right now actually it's not a great time for the handmade items for labor like this, because everything is getting automated, everything is machinery, and there are not so many people who appreciate the real handmade items, items that sold within it. And that's probably one of the main reasons why we we trying to find new audience, because within our country we have like limited amount of people who appreciate handmade items and like shawls. So right now we're trying, not desperately, but we're trying the best we can to find people who interested in like spreading, in developing the craft. In we're trying to find regional partners, people who want sell these items, because we face the problem that we have limited market here in the country. So that's probably one of the main goals right now, to keep our knitters busy, to give them a job, to sell it some. And so that's it about a company. Actually, that's students from Italy. They came to Orenburg like a few years ago, and it was the class we taught them how to make the patterns, like simple Orenburg Shal patterns. So yeah, and they left us their work. We made kind of collaboration with them, had a few ideas how to bring something new to our tradition. So we wanted to say thank you. Oh yeah, that's a great one. We want to say thank you for your attention and show the thing that we're really proud of. You see it on the background.
It's almost 2 meters and weighs only 130 grams. And it's really huge.
It's has pattern all over, and that's probably the work that we're proud of most in a half a year, I would say. So we'd like to thank you for your attention. I have no chance to see the questions. I will try to answer them right now. Yeah, we know that about the tradition of putting the shawl through the ring. It's not a unique thing, but it's like the quality mark that you can show that it's thin enough to go through the ring. Oh, someone wrote the spasibo in Russian. Thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot. About the shipment, it depends on the type of shipment. That's the question, how long does it take to get our items to US? About a week with the quickest way, like and the lucky no COVID situation that's weak with the bad COVID situation and using the post, it's 3 weeks probably. Yeah, if the thing that I didn't say that if you search for Orenburg Shal in English, that's about 60 to 70% fakes. We'll translate the article about fakes Orenburg Shals in a week, and we'll post it on our site because that's a huge issue. That's a really huge issue on selling fakes. Like most of the items you see in the bright colors, they are fake. So it's really easy to buy a fake one because there are not so many people who really produce the Orenburg shawls, and that's the huge problem. We suffer a lot from it, and it's not many legal ways to solve it because legislation is kind of poor in that area, and we're trying to fight it as much as we can, and that's one of the things we're trying to do. We're trying to prevent the sellers of fake to sell the items all over.
Yes, we're real estate in the Russian museum. They have very big friends with Irina Bushukhina, which is the most big scientist of Orenburg Shal. And we are cooperating with them and even have many different projects together. And our items and items of our shawls are also in the show in the museum. So they are the part of the exhibitions.
Yeah, some of our items represented in the different museums all around the country. We had an exhibition in Italy. We had
in German, in different countries. Unfortunately, I forget, but in several countries in Europe and in too many towns in Russia.
Yeah, we work with the museums a lot, and the thing that we're proud of, it's not like some random items, it's items that we produce on a daily basis that get to museum. So, and so and one thing, so I think this is it. If,
One second, sorry, we are talking Russian because it's real more quickly. I'm speaking, but not neither yet.
Да.
Это отвечал, да? Вышел like a computer.
Тут просто комментарий. I think if I missed the question.
In the site produced by machine.
Yeah, we have like most of the process is made by hand, but some parts of the process of the down processing is automized for few items. Like we have this production lines for not production line, but like the way we produce different items, not completely, but different in some points. And for some items, we use machinery to proceed the down. for some of them, we use it to knit the middle part when there is no pattern. There's only like thick middle part. We use machines to make it. So, but mostly items are handmade. And we also have a few items completely made by the machines, but that's like the way to make more items and more SKU, like to offer people lower prices, because as you understand and as you know, the real handmade product cannot cost as much as the machine made. So we trying to give people like, for those who cannot afford the real handmade shawl, we trying to give them this kind of machine product shawl, but most of our items handmade.
Do you plan?
We are planning to this question about the selling yarn. Unfortunately, right now we cannot produce enough yarn to meet our own production needs, because that's the bottleneck for our production is to making yarn. And we have a lot of knitters, but to give them work, we need a lot of yarn. And hopefully next year we'll be able to produce enough to sell yarn. We do not sell it even within Russia. We only like produce shawls of it. It's
I'm looking at tickets. Why is viscose listed as part of the fiber?
Answering the question about the tippets and viscose, is it possible? If I understand you correctly, like we have only like viscose.
It's a silk, viscose silk.
Silk, like it is almost impossible to find the natural silk. So we use what we can get to produce it. But
we are trying to find the natural silk in big quantity for our producing, but it's real hard for us in Russia. It's difficult to do.
Yeah, we tried several times to find natural silk, but they sold us, I don't know what they sold us, but it was not the natural silk. So we were almost desperate. Our website is on the top of the chart. If you go up, it's a link.
Let's write it.
1 second, we'll send you the link in the chart.
1 second, please.
1 second, we'll write the name of the site into the chart. So here's our website. Sorry, it's not completely translated. It's like 90%. As you can see, the part with the knitters is not translated completely. We are working on it, and I'll hope in a month or two it will be completely translated. So for this period of time, we like offer.
It's an interesting question. Thank you. about the difference between?
Yeah, it's the size, amount of down, and the complexity of the pattern, and also sometimes it's the knitter's experience, because we have like few of them who were knitting like more than we live together on this planet, so we have to respect that, and they they should get a bit more. So that's also you get like the experience of the knitter. Also, we have this personal collections, so we have some items produced by several peoples, but there are few items we produce, they're produced only by one knitter, and she signs the postcard for you. Like we can make a video for this. Yeah, we can bring postcards. We send like that's a really personal thing. And like as I said, we trying to show people.
I don't know if you will see it
If
or
you
not.
can see it, no, that's a postcard we send with shawl that's signed by the knitter, like on the other side. You can see it.
And this postcard were written by the child from the art school in Saractash, where we have our producer, and we print it, and it's very authentic for our view.
Yeah, like we're trying to work with the local community as much as we can. We're trying to teach.
Sorry, Sash. And if you see, we put it in every item of our shawls if it was knitted by one knitter.
Yeah. So that's how you get, like, you get the story of a person, you get the postcard, and we want to show people that this is really handmade and it's made by this exact person, and when you show knitters to people, show their work. So I think, yeah, we try as much as we can to support the school we have here. Also, we working on recording the series of lesson how to make Orenburg shawls, and it's not an easy quest, but I hope the next year we'll be able to make the whole series about how to make Orenburg shawls.
And we have our little club in Saractash with our knitters. Because of COVID, we not connect very often, but now it's rare. But sometimes we collect our knitters in one club, and we discuss some problems of knitters. They can in this club they can discuss their problems, they can discuss this that we want, and it's very interesting for them. They are more socialized in this club, I think.
Yeah, we're trying to make some leisure for them. That's the comment about.
I think we will read it in the nearest time. Thank you. I don't know about it, about her book, Galina Khmeleva. Maybe we will even can walk in this site together with her, because we have a very large experience, and our knitters are real good professionals, which all their life made this busy.
Yeah, when we counted all the craftswomen we work with, we were terrified really, because we ourselves live in Orenburg, and most of our production is in the village, Sarktash village. And it was one day, I believe, when we started to count all the people who came there that day. And by the end of the day, it was like 305 or 305 and 307, I forgot, but it was surprising amount of people for us. So we were kind of shocked how many people we connecting with through this work. So, and that's one of the like, good things about our job. So any more questions, comments? And by the way, if you have anything to say on our site, on our work, any advices, anything, any feedback, there is the email in the contacts info Orenburg Shal.
We can copy it
Yeah,
in the chat.
we can copy it. You can write anything, and if you have anything to say, like, please write us.
And Devin is asking if you take credit cards. She's amazed at the price. Do you take credit cards?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's if
Yeah,
you
well-
have the international card, debit or credit, it will be okay. Of course,
Yeah.
we can get it. We also can get PayPal. Yeah.
but it's the price of item and the price of shipment is separate. So you'll get like a bit more for the ticket. Like I don't know exactly the price, but our managers will say the price of shipments when you like say your location, and they'll count the price. But yes, we trying as much as we can to keep our costs as low as possible, because unfortunately here it's kind of not the greatest economical situation, and not many people can afford pay a lot. And with the exchange rate right now, that could be a good purchase for you, because right now we have the 5% discount for anyone who buy, I think, in the next month. So we with our prices, that's as much as we can get you. But I hope you like some of our items. We try our best to produce them and make them as quality as we can. Yeah, and one thing I would like to repeat, like, if you have any feedback, if you have people who are interested in maybe selling our items, like buying wholesales, like, and working with, because we are searching for regional partners, for partners for the country. We can provide you with the site, with anything, with a lot of materials, with anything, but we're kind of desperate for the people to work with abroad, because we don't have a lot of free hands, a lot of time to promote items abroad. So if you know anyone who could be interested, please let him know, let us know, we'll contact them. So not right now. We have in mind the collection with the different fibers, but we kind of limited.
I can also show you our шторы, да, покажем.
Yeah.
1 second, please.
This about the
Nobody sees before.
Oh,
Yeah, the
that's,
real, the first who is.
that's the world premiere. We have like item. I hope you like. It's that's
For the
thing.
Windows.
Yeah, that's the thing for the Windows. Unfortunately, I do not remember the word, but that's the cotton made in Orenburg technique. I hope you see that. We can.
Это, по-моему, лен, Саш. Но не знаю, как он будет. So it's on the window, and we. The thing. Да, на окне. Давай попробуем. Ну, окно у нас не очень, давай.
That's the part of the new collection. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to readjust a little bit just to show you. Like we get it like to the cover, the windows.
I don't know how it's viewed from the camera, but
Yeah, like that's the thing, and that's made of natural fiber with curtains. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that's the curtain. So as you can see, we kind of try our best to make everything, but so whoa. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah. So I think this is it.
if you have any questions,
Yeah.
we're ready to answer.
Ну, большое спасибо, очень интересная презентация. И
Thank
очень
you.
интересная.
It's so pleasant.
И ваш английский язык очень хорошо, по моему мнению. Но большое
Спасибо. Спасибо.
Спасибо вам.
Спасибо большое.
Oh, your wonderful community. I can't stop saying this. This is such a wonderful community.
Thank you. Both of you have been delightful. I am so impressed with what you've shared with us. And I apologize again for the, excuse me, the problem with the link for those of you that had difficulty getting in. But thank you, gentlemen. You were just wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you.
a lot.
It was very pleasant for us to see you and
Other
to speak.
So everybody get over, excuse me, see their recording on YouTube and their special recording that they did earlier for us. And we'll see you all at the next Crunch Show.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye bye. Here.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you for staying up so late.
We'll go to sleep.
Bye bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.